Hello to our colleagues in Armenia who are joining us today for this briefing, and thank you, Liana, and thank you everyone for joining us. Can someone please confirm in chat that you can hear me well before I go ahead with the slides? Thank you. I should maybe also introduce myself as we have some new people around. I'm Sorina Telanu. I'm part of the Executive Committee of CDIC, the Southeastern European Dialogue on Internet Governance, and I also work with DiploFoundation, so I'm a bit on both boats that are organizing or holding this Southeastern European Hub today. As I think you are all aware of, CDIC is running this monthly hub meetings trying to provide some general overviews of internet governance and digital policy developments happening in our region in what we call Southeastern Europe and the neighboring area. And these hubs are based on monthly summaries that we also publish at the end of each month. Again, looking at main developments and events in terms of internet related issues, developments happening across our region. The summary is usually published after the hub, and what we do at the hub is to look at some of the main developments, and this is what we're going to do today, looking at some of the main things that happened over the past month in our countries. My kind request to you all is to stop me at any point, ask questions for clarifications if you have, add your own comments, maybe let us know about things happening in your countries or across the region that you are aware of and we might have not covered. Hoping this can be more than just me talking and a bit more of an interaction. So let me start. The month of March, what happened in our region in terms of internet governance and digital policy. We start with a couple of updates on capacity development initiatives, basically things that countries and private companies are doing, trying to raise a bit more awareness about internet and digital technology uses across the region. In Serbia, we're seeing a third edition of a governmental-led initiative called IT Caravan, which is basically meant to educate children and young people on safe use of digital technologies. The initiative was launched in 2016 by the government, the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunication, I think that's the name. And they are going around the country to schools promoting safe use of technologies, explaining the challenges and opportunities of using the internet and other related technologies, what are the good parts and what are the bad ones in short. Let me see if there's something I'm missing. There is a mobile platform made available to youth and some interactive presentations, as I've said, covering the risks and benefits on the use of digital technologies. A similar initiative was launched in Cyprus, but this time by a private company. The telecom company MTN is organizing seminars in junior high and high schools across the country, again to raise more awareness among children on issues related to safety and security on the internet. Part of this initiative is a sort of a video on the risks of cyberbullying, trying to raise a bit more awareness on those issues. And there is also an app, sort of an exercise trying to make children a bit more aware about internet risks, but in an interactive and fun way. Then moving from young people to elder people, in Serbia the government has launched a digital training program for the elderly, trying to make sure that they too are aware of the opportunities and challenges of using digital technologies, that they have digital skills and they can use the internet for communication and other purposes, while again being aware of the related risks and keeping their data safe. And back to schools, in Croatia, the government started negotiations with several telecom operators for a project which is aimed to provide free high-speed internet in schools across the country. And already several private companies have expressed interest in joining this project. The goal is the same, ensuring that children have or develop digital skills and they are better prepared for the future of work, which seems to be shaped more and more by digital technologies. Moving to the next bunch of developments, we look at cybercrime, cybersecurity, and digital rights. And it seems the image is cutting some of the text. Sorry for that. In Turkey, there are some indications that the well-known cyber group Hidden Cobra is targeting financial organizations across the country. This cyber attack is not new. It was initially discovered in February, but it seems now it is having some active role in Turkey, targeting those financial organizations. And for now, it's not sure how the data that is being subtracted from those attacks is going to be used. Apparently, it's just some sort of an initial collection that seems to be part of a broader attack plan for later. So security companies and I think also governmental authorities are trying to look into this a bit more. There are quite a couple of developments in Turkey this month. Turk Telecom, which is the largest telecom provider in the country, is accused of using spyware technology for spying on their users. Basically, when users were trying to install common programs like Skype, the company is said to be also injecting some spyware, malware, trying to then see what users are doing online. Again, there is research going on there, and of course, the company said they are not doing this. So let's see who we trust. What else in Turkey? Proton Technology, which is the operator of an encryption email service, is saying that the government has been blocking access to their services. This also seems to be part of the broader governmental policy of controlling, to some extent, digital services across the country, but it is yet to be determined whether the government is or is not behind this. In Georgia, a private company has launched a so-called computer emergency response team, which is supposed to help both the public sector and especially small and medium-sized enterprises in the country to protect themselves from cyber attack. The CERT, although run by a private company, is part of the broader cybersecurity system in Georgia and is becoming actually the first private operated computer emergency response team in the country. And there are also some reports from cybersecurity companies saying that the Russian cyber espionage group is possibly behind a number of cyber attacks that have targeted public institutions in Montenegro last year. And there also seems to be some indications that the cyber espionage group is linked to governmental authorities in Russia. Again, these are all alleged information. We know how it is with attributing cyber attacks. Not really easy to prove that someone is behind them. Let me stop for a while. Any comments, questions? If not, I'll be moving to the last batch of developments, which is related to the use of digital technologies for development. Over the past few months, we've been covering issues related to blockchain technologies quite a lot and showing how countries in our region, and especially in the most eastern part of our region, like Armenia and Georgia and also Belarus, are looking into using these technologies for development and for attracting more investment into the countries. Now Moldova is also doing some small steps in that direction. Together with some UN agencies which have offices in the country, Moldova plans to implement a pilot project which is to use blockchain technologies to combat child trafficking. The project, as I've said, is to be implemented together with UN agencies, and it will see some results, or it is expected to see some results in a couple of months. In Azerbaijan, going again to the most eastern part of our region, the president of the country has signed a decree on transition to digital government, basically outlining a strategy and an action plan for how governmental authorities and public services are going to be digitalized, making use of digital technologies and the internet for the provision of public services. And a new public body was also created to supervise this transition. again, part of the country's broader strategy to strengthen its information society or digital economy, however we want to call it. In Greece, we have an initiative looking at enhancing the use of Internet of Things technologies, and the city of Trikala is to become the country's first 5G enabled city. As part of a pilot project, which is to be implemented by a private company together with local authorities and in cooperation with the government, the Ministry for Telecommunications. 5G network is to be installed across the city, and the good part in 5G is that it's going to allow better connectivity for a bunch of new services that are going to be implemented to make the city more efficient. Transportation, parking, public government services, all IoT related. And in Romania, we move a bit to the private sector side. The country's largest bank, and when I say largest, I mean in terms of or among the banks that are Romanian, has launched an service that is making use of artificial intelligence to improve the experience of their users. So basically, both individual users and companies are able to use these services to better see how they can make use of the opportunities, of the economic opportunities to enhance their, well, it will sound bad, but I guess economic gains. And that's it in terms of main developments, and I think Adriana is just on time to take over the events. But before I pass to her, let me ask again if you have any additions, things that we might have missed. I'm pretty sure we have missed some things. More developments will be in our summary to be published towards the end of the week or earlier next week, the latest. And while you type or try to unmute yourself, over to Adriana for an overview of main events. Adriana, if you can hear us and take over, that would be great.
I can hear you. I hope you can hear me. All right. Forgive me for looking down, but I will have to read most of this because I'm going to talk a lot. Please be patient with me. Okay, so we are going to look at the selection of the main events in March. You can't really see everything, but we'll start with DIDS 2018 and Regional TLD Forum that occurred from 6th to 7th March in Belgrade. The conference, which is Internet Domains Day, that's DIDS, was divided into 3 blocks. The first block was cyber personality, and it addressed implications and challenges of the GDPR. The second block focused on digitalization in culture and science, and it was titled Digital Heritage. The third block was online business, and it featured a presentation of the results of the 2017 Digital Vitality Index of small, micro, and medium enterprises in Serbia. This was followed by a presentation of Serbian companies that have successfully made use of the internet and their online presence to advance their business. This event was followed by the Regional TLD Forum on March 7th. This is an industry gathering for representatives of registries of country code top level domains, from the region. The second event in March that you can see on the slide is AI and Big Data, which occurred on March 10th in Lviv in Ukraine. This conference focused on the role and practical implications of AI systems, as well as on big data development challenges, practical application of intelligent data analysis, machine learning, and text data processing. The one-day event was structured in 4 simultaneous streams: data engineering, data science, startups and products, and workshops. In Struga, from March 21st to March 25th, the American Bar Association Rule of Law hosted the Internet Freedom Summit. This summit is a part of the Bar Association's development and enhancement of legal frameworks in Eastern Europe and Eurasia project. The conference featured a panel discussion on freedom of expression on March 22nd, which was the first conference day. After that, the conference was divided into 3 tracks, which was freedom of expression, privacy, and cybersecurity. The 3 tracks ran simultaneously. In Sofia, Bulgaria, the conference Cybersecurity Challenges occurred on March 26th. The conference was a part of the official program of the Bulgarian presidency of the Council of the European Union, and it addressed cybersecurity as a strategic priority in all countries in the EU. The conference consisted of 4 panels: European cybersecurity ecosystem, internet security, achieving cyber resilience, crisis response management at technical and operational level, and changing the mindset, way to gain true cyber resilience through cooperation at a strategic political level. The last event that you see on the slide is the Albanian IGF. This hasn't occurred yet, but since it's in March, we put it on this slide. So this will be the first Albanian IGF, and the event will consist of 2 sessions. The first will be titled Internet Governance, Promotion and Awareness in Albania, and the second session will be titled Cybersecurity, Safer Internet in Albania. Registrations for this event are still open. I have to note here that one of our editorial team members, Oleana Shula, will be attending and maybe even moderating this event. So I expect that we'll have greater coverage of this event in the next summary, which will be in April. And now we're going to see which are upcoming events. First, we have OMG Commerce, which will occur in Croatia. Some of the topics of this conference will be GDPR, global trends in e-commerce, and new ways of online payment. Applications for this event are still open. The next event will be ITU Regional Workshop for Europe and CIS on cybersecurity and child online protection. That's a mouthful. From 4th to 6th April. This will be in Odessa, Ukraine, and the workshop will discuss the role of governments and international organizations in cybersecurity and child online protection. Also, the ITU Global Cybersecurity Index will be presented, and registration for this event appears to be still open. The next event will be in Belgrade from 12th to 15th April, which is the INAC Summit. This educational and networking event will focus on digital transformation and migration of talent and capital. Participants will come from the private sector, academia, civil society, both in the Balkans and internationally. Tickets for this event can still be bought, and that's until April 10th, so you haven't missed your chance if you want to attend that. The Bulgaria Web Summit will occur in Sofia, Bulgaria. The first day will consist of workshops, and the second day is dedicated to the conference. Some of the subjects covered will be JavaScript, hypertext preprocessor, MongoDB, DevOps, UX, WebVR, and voice. I have no idea what I just said, but I hope that someone knows the meaning of these things and that it's meaningful to you. But I don't know what this is. No more tickets are available anyway, but it's possible to join a waiting list, and the organizers will let you know if any more tickets are released. In Skopje, Macedonia, the Western Balkans Digital Summit will happen on April 18th and 19th. This is envisaged as a high-level event, and it will have 4 platforms: digital skills, trust and security, digital environment networks and services, connectivity and access, and digital economy and society. The summit will also have a digital expo where interested companies can present their work. The aim of the summit is to produce tangible results, especially in terms of setting up the digital platform for exchange of ideas and proposals. I couldn't find the applications for this event, which doesn't mean they don't exist. So if you're interested in that, sorry I wasn't much help. The e-security conference will occur in Belgrade from 25th to 27th April. The 25th April is reserved for hands-on trainings and workshops, and last 2 days are conference days. Lectures will be dedicated to the banking security operations, to proper management of information system security, security of mobile devices and applications, authentication problems, advanced antivirus protection and security of Linux systems, and so on. Applications are still open. Late bird application is possible until April 15th, and the last minute application is possible after April 15th. And in Split in Croatia, International Conference for Blockchain Business and Development will occur from 27th to 28th April. The conference is tailored for programmers, project managers, and entrepreneurs looking at the potential of working with the blockchain technology. The first day will be reserved for full-day hands-on development workshops. On the second day, the conference will be split into 2 tracks, that is development-oriented track and business-oriented track. It is still possible to buy tickets for this event, and the price varies depending on which day you want to attend and how many people you're buying tickets for. That would be it. Thank you, Liliana, for the information on summit in Struga. That's very nice of you. And I believe that I have finished with the overview of events, past and upcoming. Serena, over to you.
Thank you, Anjana. That was a very comprehensive overview of events. Liliana asked about having the list of events in a format visible or via email. We will publish that as part of the summary, as I've said, to be out towards the end of the week or early next week, the latest. And also, if you go on our website at the bottom of the main page, we have a calendar where we also publish the upcoming events, so that should be helpful as well. So let me ask, would anyone like to add anything, comment on anything that has been said, make suggestions, maybe something from Armenia if we still have our colleagues here? Liliana, if you'd like to speak about the Struga event, that would be good as well. And I think you can unmute yourself, or someone from Belgrade will enable you to do that. Anyone? Okay, I see Liana typing while she's doing that. Let me also give you a couple of updates about CIDIG, Southeastern European Dialogue on Internet Governance. We are now working hard on planning our 4th annual meeting, which will be held in Ljubljana in Slovenia on 23-24 May. You can find all related information on our website, as I said, cidic.net. The important part I would like to underline now is that we have 2 capacity development programs that we launched last year. One is a youth school targeted at university and master students from around the region, and the other one is a fellowship program targeted more at professionals, people working or interested in internet governance and digital policy. And we have 2 calls for applications for individuals interested in applying for these 2 programs and joining us in Ljubljana. The calls stay open until 2 April. So have a look at our website and apply. The application form is not complicated at all. We don't ask for many details. But we would like to see your interest in our program overall and in internet governance and digital policy broadly. And as I talk, I see emails coming in my inbox with applications for the youth school and fellowship program. So I hope to see more after this briefing. The program for our meeting is online. We have 8 main sessions looking at digital issues mainly related to data governance, privacy and data protection, cybersecurity, and a couple of other things. We hope to see many of you there face-to-face, but we will also have, as usual, online participation. So if you cannot travel to Ljubljana, you can join us online. We will publish details about how to join us via WebEx closer to the meeting. And I guess that's it from my side. Let me see what's happening in chat. All right, so apparently you should be able to speak. Liana or Liliana, whoever wants to do that, please give it a try.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So it's Liana speaking. I'd like to just update what's going on in Armenia. I mean, in the hub, we have agreed with the Armenian School of Internet Governance students to gather in the ISAC office and have a discussion here and to follow the briefing. First the Geneva one and then the C hub. And this experiment was for the first time, and I'm glad to report that we have participation here. And afterwards, we are going to also discuss the developments within Armenia. I think this is very good chance for the local participants to learn not only the local developments in IG sphere, but also the regional and global one. And we will later promote these gatherings for the next month also, and I hope we will have more participants. Basically, the challenge is the timing, since the students, this is a working day time, and not everyone could join this month. I hope for the next month we will have, we will ask them to schedule their classes so that they can at least miss it or for a partial time and be here with us. And I'm really very glad that to see the ISOC Armenian members also joined online. And I'm sure that those who cannot come in person in the hub, they can still join online also. So we do not have any comment on the updates that we have heard, but we are going to discuss what is interesting or what they can be a participant or even follow remotely. This is a good chance for all of those who join for the first time to learn more. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Liana, both for speaking and for organizing the hub there. To everyone else, over the past few months, we've been having these hub meetings only online, a couple of us getting together and going through these main developments and talking a bit about them. We're trying to go one step further by having local hubs in countries around the region. This is what Liana is doing today in Armenia, gathering together people from the country to follow, as Liana said, the global and regional developments, and then to discuss a bit about how these developments are impacting the local community and what else is happening in the local community. This is part of CITIG's broader efforts to create more linkages between international, regional, and local communities. So we hope as we go along with the hub meetings, we will be having more local hubs in countries across the region. And we are open to discuss with anyone interested in hosting such meetings. There's not much requirements, basically a room to get the people together and maybe some sort of a screen so they can see or follow the briefings from Geneva and from us online. So once again, thanks a lot, Liana, and hello to everyone there. Would anyone else like to add anything? Just a note of thank you to Diana, Maya, and Andriana. They are part of the teams of editors working on our monthly summaries. And as I've said, those monthly summaries are the basis for these hub meetings and things you should be seeing in the slides. Apparently, the images are taking over. But thank you, girls, for all your work. And if there's nothing else from your side, I guess we can end the briefing here. As we've said, we will have the summary published soon on our website. You see the link where the summary is going to be published. If there's anything happening in your countries or things from across the region that you are aware of, send us an email. We will be glad to include those things into our next month's summary. And we hope to transform this into a bit of a more collaborative exercise. So thanks everyone, have a good rest of the day and see you next month, last Tuesday of the month at the same time.